Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm Mr. Fayaz Ahmed Kucher from Baramallah. I'm going to discuss about superposition theorem for class 11th. Dear students, superposition theorem. I may explain you with an example first of all. Here is an example in superposition theorem. It is being stated that if we have a circuit like this, this is your current source and this is your voltage source, and this is 2 ohm resistor in between them. If you have to calculate the current flowing through this resistor, you have to apply superposition theorem. That's what the superposition theorem tells us. It tells us that whenever you have got current source, voltage source, here again voltage source, you will take stepwise you will take. For example, you are cancelling this voltage source and this voltage source number 1, this voltage source number 2. You are replacing them with the internal resistance. When, dear students, when you are replacing voltage source with internal resistances, you have to show it by replacing this by short circuit. This is the sign of short circuit. This type you will show here. Voltage source, the sign of voltage source is here. Here you have to show the, what I must say, short circuit. Here you will make it short circuit. Here also you will make it. For example, you will take this V1, this is V1 voltage source, this is V2 voltage source. You will take V1 voltage source first of all, and you will keep this like that, and we will find the current flowing through resistance 2 ohm, that you will name as I1. Secondly, you will replace this voltage source by short circuit like this sign. You will show here again and keep the remaining like that. Then you will calculate the current flowing through this resistance 2 ohm again, that will be equal to I double dash. Similarly, when you go through this current source, you have to replace the current source by internal resistances, and you have to show it as open circuit like this. Open circuit like this with 2 dots. You have to show it here with 2 dots. Then you have to calculate the current flowing through this 2 ohm resistance, that you will name as I triple dash. So what you will do, you have to add those types of currents flowing on the current named as I dash, then plus current I double dash plus current I triple dash, that will be taking their summation, that will be equal to I, the total current flowing through the circuit. This is in brief the superposition theorem, telling us that you have to take in parts. Its energy, and then you have to make total calculation, addition of those currents flowing separately, taking this voltage source, cancelling these 2 sources, making this voltage source as what I must say, short circuited sign, and cancelling this, keeping it like that, cancelling this and keeping short circuited sign there, as I have shown you, short circuit sign here, and calculating the current I1 flowing through this 2 ohm resistor, naming that I1 I dash, then cancelling the second V2 current source, in measuring the current, that naming it as I double dash, then I3 calculating the current flowing through this 2 ohm resistor and replacing it by internal resistance as showing by short circuited open circuit. Sorry, for you students, you may keep in mind that when you are taking internal resistance of these sources, for internal sources, for example voltage source or current source. For voltage source you have to show it as short circuited, this sign. For current source you have to show it as open circuit, like this. So you will calculate separately, then you make addition of that will be equal to total current flowing through the circuit. This is the total version of superposition theorem. Here I have actually, dear students, you have to keep in mind this theorem which I have written here. I know you are feeling lack of these notes, electronics note. That's why I have taken some particular from particular book, the theorem. I have written it here. I'm sure you will go through it. You write this theorem as I have written here, and keep it in mind and rewind it several times. The theorem says this theorem applies to linear network only. That means this theorem is applied in linear network. The linear network theorem means that means the circuit, that type of circuit. Linear network source means, linear network means that type of circuit we are considering, where resistors, capacitors, inductors are being constant with respect to voltage and time taken. Those circuits are known as linear network circuits. So that's why he is telling this theorem applies to linear network theorems, where we keep resistors, capacitors, insulators, inductors, those all constant with respect to time and voltage. So I have told you the meaning for this linear network. What does that mean? One may also say that the networks to which this theorem applies are called linear networks. That's why this theorem is known as linear network. Linear networks. I have told you what does the linear network mean. Linear network means simply a circuit containing capacitors, resistors, insulators, but being constant, taken constant, at a constant value, I must say, with respect to voltage and current. So the theorem states that in any network which consists of generators means generator means this voltage source and current source. In any, he is telling here, he states that in any network which consists of generators I have told you, that means voltage source and current source, and linear impedances. The impedances means resistances which are contained with it, resistance. For example, you have resistors, here 2 ohms resistor. Linear resistors, the linear impedances, the current flowing at any point is sum of the currents, as I have shown you. Sum of the currents here is equal to sum of the currents which would flow if each generator were considered separately, which I am telling you, which I have told you, separately you have to consider these generators. This voltage source you are taking first, then you are taking this voltage source, then you are taking this voltage. You have to take them separately. That's why I am telling you, voltage source, current source, these are the generators, working as generators in the particular network. You have to take them separately. That's what he is telling, separately. All other generators being replaced by impedances which I am telling by impedance, internal resistances, which I have told you, voltage source is being replaced by short circuit, this short circuit, and current source is being replaced by these two dots, separate dots. That's what he is telling here. All the generators are replaced by internal resistances equal to their internal impedances. That will do for today. This was your superposition theorem for class 11th. I'm sure you may have got it and you may learn it very nicely, very clearly. This is the theorem which I am showing you here. What is being written, you have to clearly learn it. Okay, assalamu alaikum.